Lost in the pages of your history textbook are the people who are picked and chosen for the good shooters and the bad shooters, the forgotten abusers, the been bruised and the users, the mischief makers and history fakers, picked and chosen by memory takers. There's a lot we forget to remember. We forget to remember that what has been will be again. 216 years ago, a 27-year-old man used one hand to pull the trigger of a gun and end the life of a 19-year-old with two hands good for doing a lot that he never got to do. As of this morning, 2,150 children or teenagers have been shot and killed in the US this year. And those are the ones we know of. Centuries ago, a young woman was being abused and abandoned by a husband, and if you look her up, it says she claimed to be abused. Because we don't know. Because there's no way to sign a name on the colorful work of bruises and scars saying this is where they came from. Right now, there's a young person somewhere being told they were asking for it, or a young person trying to figure out if I love you is worth the verbal hurt and trying to make it work. In the 1700s, one of history's few Southern revolutionary abolitionists was born. He didn't agree with his family's ways, and he didn't spend his days on women. He didn't do more than fit in when it came to family. Today, tomorrow, or the next day, a boy was born to parents who he won't agree with. A boy was born who will have to hide who he's in love with. And a decade or two from now, one of these boys could feel so worthless that he gets involved in guns, or that he gets done with getting involved in anything, or that he wants to be done with everything and end all the bad feelings. Right now, there's someone wallowing, grieving in the mistake of the Hamilton, or the Lee, or the Philip who they killed. There's a heart being filled with regret for a trigger that went off when a basic human moral didn't. And they live in fear of getting by. Right now, there's a parent or friend or coworker living in shock because it's apparent how worthless lives are to some people, whether it's their own or not. This is why we don't forget. We forgive but forge moments of death into our remembered set. We forgive but forge moments of pain into our rain check, our do-over, but there's no over and there's no redo. There's only look back, see where we've been, bounce back, check that, live in moments of fear but go back to the daily track, the lives that are now and not past. History obliterates. It paints us in all our mistakes. The good shooters painted in a fresh coat of fame and glory, and the bad shooters painted in a yellow caution tape of bad guy, painted at their worst moments. And sometimes we get too into history's mistakes, and sometimes our hands are too full. If we try to stay level-headed, we move up a level and tell ourselves to always be cognizant. It's difficult to balance because there's no direction to memory. We can't carry everything, but we feel empty with nothing. Lost in the pages of your history textbook are the people who are picked and chosen for the good shooters and the bad shooters. There's a lot we forget to remember. But remember, if nothing else, that you were always forgetting. There are lost faces and stories in every time and place. Look for them. And if you cannot find them, know that they are still there.